Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, so listen here. I have proof that aliens have decided to make like the Earth like a pancake size, like super flat and everything, and that the aliens are actually like reptilians that are like controlled by like some sort of you know, I don't, I can't give you too much details. Okay, you just gotta trust me on this because I know that I'm right about this. And it's like, I'm not going to debate you on anything because I know that I'm right. There's like no point in debating you because you're like one of those round earthers. It's like there's no point in us debating because you're just gonna automatically lose. Trust the science. Trust my information. That's all, guys. Bye. Okay, so that being serious now. So, you know. What I just said there, the joke that I just made, that's not a joke. That's not a joke because we have here, and at the time that I'm recording this, it like just happened, but I don't know when I will post this. That's just how it goes sometimes. Um, but the whole debate, if you ever saw it, it is RFK Jr. running for president. Absolutely amazing. It's like I don't like all these politicians. I really don't, but I have to say he's probably the absolute best one I've ever seen. Absolutely. He's not. That's the thing. He's not a politician much like Trump was and everything, but it's like, if it was him against Trump, hands down, you're not going to be voting for Trump now. You're going to be voting for him. But can he beat out Joe Brandon? I don't know. I really hope so. I really hope so. We need to get rid of Joe Brandon. Anyway, enough about that. But so RFK Jr., he has an organization that I've been following for many, many years, the Children's Health Defense, which talks about vaccines and health and all that sort of stuff. Lots of different topics that they cover. And so RFK Jr. is primarily anti-vaccine. It talks about all that sort of stuff. I'm not going to elaborate on that because I'm posting this to YouTube. YouTube's not going to like anything. The moment you say that word and anything else, okay? So, he has put out the options, like, anyone's willing, he's willing to debate anyone pretty much, as long as they have the credentials. No one will debate him. No one from the other side will debate him. That should be a big, big red flag. But the whole thing that ended up happening was this other very well-known vaccine scientist, doctor. Oh, is it me? No, it is not Dr. F. So sorry. Oh, yeah, it's one of Dr. F's friends, which is Dr. H. Dr. Peter Hotez, or Dr. P, whatever you wish to call him. Dr. P or Dr. H. But anyway. So, yeah, he is a major vaccine scientist and everything. And, they were having a bit of a, Joe Rogan had RFK Jr. on, and then Dr. Peter Hotez kind of back, trying to push back and say, all this stuff that he's saying is all anti-vaccine and all this other stuff, anti-science. And then even Elon Musk kind of chimes in and everything. It's like, okay, we would challenge you to a debate. That's what Joe Rogan says. RFK Jr. versus Peter Hotez on Joe Rogan's podcast without any sort of time limits. And just have it go, 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 go. And, yeah. Well, a bunch of money was offered. Even Elon Musk said, he's not willing to debate because he knows he's wrong. Talking about the doctor. Bunch of money was offered by tons of people, like equivalent to like almost like $3 million or something. It was a lot of money. The doctor still would not debate. Tell me then how you can sit here and say, I am a scientist, I am a doctor, I have proof that what I'm saying is correct and that you're wrong, but I'm not going to show you the evidence for it. Sorry. I'm not going to give you any sort of evidence to prove that what I'm saying is right. You just have to trust me by my word because I'm a doctor, I'm a scientist. That should be a big red flag right there, and that should go to show you that, hey, anyone who says that or who claims that, they're wrong. Okay? They're just wrong. Now, this has happened to me too. And on, when I've made videos, I've talked about certain subjects before, and people have said all sorts of stuff like, can you, I don't believe this, and like, whatever else. I'm like, can you prove what you're saying is true? Do you have any sort of evidence to back up your claims? Silence. I've had this with just so many people before, and it's just like, if you're unable to back up your claims, how can you make the claim? You're just making an assumption at that point. You're just making an assumption that whatever you believe is true. Okay? If you have no evidence to back up your claim, I mean... So, this doctor would not debate. He refused to debate. It's like, hey, big red flag. And honestly, here's kind of how I view it, to be completely honest with you. So imagine someone who is on the fence, who wants to know more about the whole vaccine debate, pro and anti. It's like, it's a very important debate to have, So let's just say there's someone on the fence who's contemplating, thinking about different answers as to like, okay, what's the actual true answer here? Like, what should I really, really believe? I want to hear both sides. Well, then they see some scientist chicken out of a debate, major coward, and like, I think maybe that scientist is incorrect with what he's saying and doing. Maybe I need to go to the other side, listen to what they have to say, because they're fully willing to express their beliefs and debate anyone else. But this pro side, they just avoid confrontation at all costs. Major red flag. Major red flag indeed. And this is the other interesting thing. I remember this from many years ago. I think it was like 2018 or 2019 or so. There was going to be this conference. It was like 5 or 6 people on the anti-vaccine side, and then the same amount on the pro-vaccine side, the actual scientists and doctors and everything. Well, all of the anti-vaccine people showed up. They were sitting there in their chairs. Take a guess how many people of the pro-vaccine side showed up. I'll give you 3 seconds. 2, 1. How many people showed up? 0. Not a single one showed up. So it's like, okay. So you're too chicken to present any evidence because you know that your evidence, maybe you don't have the evidence to back up what you're saying. Maybe. And then the other thing I remember, so I very faithfully watch the High Wire with Del Bigtree every single week. If you don't watch that, I recommend checking that out. But I remember he, many years ago, he confronted this doctor in California, he's like a doctor and a politician. He makes these ridiculous rules, really strict guidelines to get kids vaccinated and all this sort of stuff that literally limits the parental rights. And he actually went to the doctor's, office, and he basically confronted him, and that doctor was so afraid and scared, he literally bolted out of that building. He ran and was dodging. Like, you saw him running through the halls. It's like, okay, if you're not willing to debate, why should people believe you? I mean, it's like, if you see someone go into like a boxing ring and they look so scared that like they're about to leave, it's like, hey, you're going to put your money on the person who's confident. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's like, if you truly believe what you're saying, have that debate and prove the other person wrong. It's like, it is that simple. It is that simple. If you think you're right and you have the evidence to back it up, prove the opposing side wrong, and stop this huge debate by putting them in their place and saying, hey, look, this is the science, this is why it is correct, hear what they say as a rebuttal, and then come back with your evidence and saying, no, you're wrong because of this and this. But I have a feeling that they can't do that. Anyway, that was all for today. You all take care. Have a great one. Let me know what your thoughts are on this. If you have heard about that craziness, because it is pretty crazy. And I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.